Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mindy and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. In today's video, I'm going to be brainstorming curriculum for my elementary kiddos. So as I mentioned, I have 4 kids, 3 of them I'm schooling full-time. So I have a 15-year-old who will be in 10th grade next year, an 8-year-old who will be in 3rd grade, a 6-year-old who will be in 1st grade, and then I have a 2-year-old daughter who is soon to turn 3, so I'm going to be doing like pre-K type stuff with her, preschool type stuff with her, not pre-K. So anyway, now is the time where I really start thinking about curriculum for the following year. I've had a really good feel for things that work for our family and what doesn't work for our family, for what works for this kiddo and what might not work for that kiddo. And so I'm really contemplating choices that I'm going to be making for next year. So if you missed my curriculum videos, be sure to check those out for what we actually use this year. I'm just going to mention here and there things that I used this year, but this year was very different for us because I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I spent the entire first semester going through chemotherapy. And so it was just like insane, but past that hurdle now. Anyway, so I'm going to start with math. This year, my 2 elementary kiddos use the Good and the Beautiful for math, and that is something that both of them have been very successful with. We did level K and then level 2, and so those have worked beautifully for my children. They are learning a ton of skills and concepts from the curriculum. So very excited to continue using the Good and the Beautiful for level 3 and then level 1. And so that's what we're going to be using for math. For ELA next year, I have used the Good and the Beautiful for both of my girls thus far. And for my 3rd grader, I'm actually going to be moving away from that. So we are currently in the Good and the Beautiful's level 2, and hopefully we will finish that up by the summertime or by next fall, actually. Not sure if we will finish it in its entirety. If we don't finish it in its entirety, I will finish the curriculum before we move on to what else I have in mind. And so this time around for 3rd grade, I want to move towards more of a literature-based approach. So I'm going to be teaching my daughter all of the skills that are necessary for literature. So the, skills like comparing and contrasting texts, character traits, knowing, like setting and things like that. And there's just like tons and tons of skills that need to be learned regarding literature and also nonfiction text. So I really want to hone in on those skills. And so to hone in on those skills, I am going to be using a lot of Evan Moore curriculum. And so I actually did pick up this one already. This is level 3. This is Skill Sharpeners Reading. Now, this is just like extra type of work, but I will be using this as one of her main core things. This one is not the one that I'm going to be using for like her spine, I guess you could say. Just be on the lookout for my 3rd grade picks video because I am moving away from the Good and the Beautiful, switching to Evan Moore for skills and concepts. But then we're going to be reading a lot of novels where we are going to be honing in on those skills. So I do know that thus far, I do want to read Charlotte's Web with her. I want to read The Wild Robot, and then I'm still trying to figure out a few more novels that I want to do. I do know that we are going to be doing a Titanic unit, a unit study, because she is very interested in the Titanic. And so I haven't had a chance to do that with her yet. For my younger daughter, Emma, she is currently in kindergarten. Next year, she will be in 1st grade. I have had such a harder time with Emma learning her letter sounds and then blending them together. We are literally still at the point where we are trying to blend 2 sounds together. So my plan is to continue the Good and the Beautiful with her because it has been a program that has worked for my other daughter that taught her how to read, but for Emma, I might have to step back and do something a little bit more systematic with her. I have really had to put a pause on the Good and the Beautiful for her. We were using the preschool. Now we're still in the preschool course book. Haven't even moved on to kindergarten prep yet. So probably kindergarten prep. I'm hoping it's going to happen by the end of this year. And then I'm hoping to move into the kindergarten level with her. Even though she will be at first grade, there's absolutely no way I'm going to push her onto a level that she's not ready for. I'm going to keep her at a level that she is going to be successful with. Okay, so there is lots more to come for ELA, and I honestly thought about doing a separate video brainstorming for ELA just because I kind of left you guys a little bit high and dry for my third grader, but we're making some major changes for next year for her. Okay, moving on to history. If you have been following me, you know that we use Knotgrass history for basically everything. So I have a lot of the Knotgrass history curriculums. So thus far, we have our 50 states, which I did for my older daughter for first grade and second grade. We have America the Beautiful. We have World Geography, which is a high school course. And then we have American history, which is also a high school course. But I do plan to do America the Beautiful with her, but not yet. I don't think she's going to be ready for that in third grade. They do have a new curriculum out called Our Great Big World. Did consider that for her because it's a world history program for the elementary ages. However, I'm not sure if I want to spend that much money on the program right now, only because my son is going to be in 10th grade. And as the kids get older, guys, curriculum gets so expensive. And we have a lot of courses we need to buy for our son that are very costly. So I'm thinking about using the Core Knowledge series for history this upcoming year for both my will be third grader and my first grader. And I will use them from what your third grader needs to know and what your first grader needs to know, and just focus on those and then do like extension activities from those books. I already picked up what your third grader needs to know. I love these books. I have this one for preschool and kindergarten and now third grade. I need to get the first grade one and the second grade one because I also have my up and coming 3-year-old. So I'm going to be using them. But anyway, this is broken up into different subjects here. And so for instance, for history, let me just flip to that. So they have world history and geography, and then they have American history and geography. And there is honestly a lot in here that I feel like I could stretch out through the entire school year. So just as an example, for instance, they have the Pilgrims at Plymouth, the Mayflower Compact, and then the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag. I could do an entire unit study using picture books from the library for all of those things in addition to the information that's already in here. So I'm really thinking that's what I'm going to do for both of my girls for history, and I am thinking about doing the same thing for science. And so we do have the Good and the Beautiful Wind and Waves that I am planning to use also for science, but I am going to be using this as kind of like a spine. So we're going to do Wind and Waves. That will not take us the entire school year. And then whatever is left in here is what we will be doing for science. So for instance, they have classifying animals. They have the human body, light and vision, sound and hearing, astronomy, ecology, and that's it. And within all of those things, we could go off and do more extension activities, which is what I'm going to plan to do. And so, Yeah, I'm very excited about that because this is moving towards a different approach to homeschooling than we've ever taken before. A lot of the curriculum that we have done thus far in our 5 years of homeschooling, besides like the pre-K, preschool years, has been pretty much open and go curriculum. And so this is going to be moving towards more of a unit study sort of approach and a literature-based approach, and I'm very excited for that. All right, well, I think that about wraps up most of my brainstorming with what I'm doing for my kids for 3rd grade and 1st grade next school year. Make sure you're on the lookout for my curriculum unboxing videos because guys, I'm starting to order curriculum and it's starting to come in the mail. I've already given you 2 sneak peeks of things that I have already ordered and I've already kind of flipped through, but packages are starting to arrive at my doorstep and I cannot wait to share those with you guys. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys in the next one.